Hey guys, what's up? Chris here from fulllifefreedom.com. Hope you're all doing well, and in this video I wanted to just discuss the three things that I feel are most important when it comes to trying to make sure that your Kindle book is going to be ranked on the first page for your keyword in Amazon. So, just to get straight into it, the first thing that I'm going to talk about is going to be nothing new to people who have been in Kindle publishing for a little while. It's going to be typical standard knowledge around the Kindle publishers and our community. But for people who I'm trying to make this for, which is beginners, newbies, whoever's just thinking about getting started out and what they should do to make sure they get on the first page, first things first, the title. Now, to make sure that you get on to the first page or give yourself the best chance of getting on that first page for your keyword, the title itself of the book needs to be published with the keyword as the title itself. Now, what I mean by that is, take for instance, if you have a book that has, let's say for instance, it's paleo diet, and it could be 30 great recipes, paleo diet recipes. Well, I would not initially publish that as 30 great recipes in the paleo diet. What I would initially publish it as is title being paleo diet, that's it. Subtitle, 30 great recipes in paleo diet. That's the way it should work, because one of the ways that Amazon looks at your book and their algorithms kind of work out is how to categorize it and where to filter it. It's almost like a filing system. So one of the first things, and nothing's been ever publicly outed through Amazon, and Amazon have never directly said this, but it always seems to be typically the case, is that one of the first things is that the title is looked at very, very early on when it comes to the ranking factors. So if your title of the book is paleo diet, then there's only going to be so many books out there. There's going to be a lot of them, of course, if it's a very competitive market, but there's only going to be so many books to do with paleo diet that actually have just the title itself as paleo diet, full stop. So that is kind of something I would stress that needs to be important when we're figuring out what it comes to titling your book in general. And I wouldn't do anything else other than that, realistically. If you're building a brand different story, which I will make another video on, but at first, when you're publishing a new book into a new market, to give yourself the best fighting chance, make sure the title is the keyword you are trying to get ranked for. You've probably heard that before, it's nothing new, but it's important, and it's something that I would recommend to everyone and anyone. Third thing, both of them I'm going to mention simultaneously because they are almost symbiotic. To explain to you, if you are new, the first 72 hours or so, when you publish a book and go live through Amazon and KDP, you are artificially given a boost by Amazon themselves. What I mean by that is they are going to rank you quite high up for the keywords that you try and the categories that you're trying to be found for. The reason is they are testing your book. They want to see if it's something their customers are going to buy, if it's of value to them, is it going to be a bestseller? Because obviously Amazon, being the organization it is, even though they typically don't spend their profits, they are always reinvesting it and spending it back onto the business. They do not take usually dividends. As far as I'm aware, Jeff Bezos, it's always being reinvested, their profits. Reason why I'm saying that is because they will still want to make their cut, which is why they pay you a royalty and they take their share as well. So the more books you're selling, or the books that are selling the most, typically are going to be ranked towards the top so they can sell more and more and have a snowball effect. That way they're going to make more money from it on their end, Amazon I'm talking about. So second and third thing is very simply volume and sales, or speed. So volume of sales and the speed of which they come through at. When you are given that artificial boost for the first few days, could last up to a week, it's different with a few books, but in that, I would say the first 72 hours to a week, and it can go on as long as 2 weeks, but as the days go by, you are losing the boost that they give you. So, as fast as you can possibly can, and I would premeditate before publishing a book, making sure you've got the resources to hand, whether through your marketing efforts and push, that you can make sure that you are going to make sales or get free downloads, as many as you possibly can within that time frame. Because what that is triggering through Amazon's algorithm in those few days, if you're getting a lot of sales, Amazon looks at that and needs to take that book, your book, seriously. Meaning they are going to keep it on that first page so that it can continuously make them money. I hope that explains just a little about, what it takes. Basically, 3 important factors that are going to get you ranked on the first page. If you make sure you sell or have downloads in large quantity and volume in a short period of time at fast speed, I can almost guarantee you will stay and remain on the first page initially after your artificial boost over the first couple of weeks. So those are the 3 things, but one thing that I will add as well, which have kind of just come to mind, is what I found with my books. When I publish a new book into the market, and this, I've never heard anyone actually directly say this, but what I have found is if you can keep a book, one of your books, consistently selling at a steady pace for 3 months, there or thereabouts, what it usually does, and I'm sure this is the case, or nothing's been proven, but it's been proven with my books over and over again, or it seems to be the case, which is after 3 months of steady sales, week in, week out, I think it gives it an authoritative stamp, meaning without any more promotion beyond that point, you will remain on that first page, and has been with my books for at least a further 6 months. And then you need to promote it again and again, because there were some books that I neglected after a couple of months of promotion, and they remained on the first page in very, very competitive markets. Because what happened was, in the first 3 months, I went back over the sales stats and figures, and I found they were steadily selling day by day for those 3 months. After that, did no promotions, they was just neglected, my own fault. But guess what? When I come 6 months later, when I come to kind of look over what's going on with these books, I found they were still within the top 3 or 5 on the first page for their keyword. And these keywords in the books and topics that I'd actually published in were some of the most competitive in a non-fiction market. So, guys, that's something that I've not heard anyone really say, but it's just my own analysis, what I've come to find. If you can keep a book selling for 3 months, typically you'll get an authoritative kind of seal of approval through Amazon, and without promoting it anymore, if you're in a competitive market, you'll still remain on the first page, typically, is what I've found. Anyway, guys, as I've said, just to summarise, title has to be the keyword you're trying to be found for, and also as many sales or downloads in the short amount of time after publishing. Hopefully that summarises it, and yeah, just hopefully it helps you in any way it can, and sheds you a bit of light onto what it takes to get onto the first page and rank your book through Amazon Kindle store. Anyway, guys, if you like what I had to say, I'd love a thumbs up, and yeah, it really means a lot to me if you subscribe and if you're just newly watching this. Anyway, guys, until next time, yeah, I hope you have a great day. Bye.